The Regulatory Standards Act. So we've got New Zealand First going to campaign against it at the election, and now potentially National going to campaign against it as well. Is this dead in the water?
Not at all. And the first thing I would...
So the thing that David was saying last week, that is, it's not dead in the water because the ACT would have to vote for it as well, and ACT's not going to vote for it. No, David. Labor will vote for it. Labor will vote for it with National and New Zealand First, and it will get repealed. For some reason, and I'm sure he does know, so I don't know why he's quite doing this, he keeps talking about this is not dead in the water because ACT is not going to support these other two parties. Yeah, but the Greens will, Te Pāti Māori will, Labor will. In fact, it'll end up being 112-9 or 113-8 next year when they repeal it. So, you know, let's not be an idiot about this.
Campaign against it as well. Is this dead in the water?
Not at all. And the first thing I would say is we have a big problem in our country with productivity. You know, we actually are not earning enough. People talk about a cost of living crisis. I would say in the long term, that is a problem that we don't earn and produce enough to pay for the things that we want.
Yeah, but how productive is the ACT? How productive is the ACT going to be if it's not there?
Well, the reason that it'll be there is that every other party, except for ACT, has actually failed to say, where is your deregulation agenda? How are you going to improve?
That's a hope strategy, Chloe.
Why would the Greens and why would Labor and why would Te Pāti Māori need to have a deregulation agenda? But I'm not saying that there aren't some things that can be deregulated, but why would this stay in place because they don't have the deregulation agenda that ACT does? Again, makes no sense whatsoever.
Your deregulation agenda. How are you going to improve?
That's a hope strategy, Chloe, isn't it? That's not going to keep the bill there.
Just a second. This is, you know, the productivity and the quality of regulation in New Zealand are important topics.
No, I get it.
I don't know if you've ever watched a sport, Chewie, and on the sideline when the reserve is about to come on, like for the last 20 minutes of the game, they're amped and they're bouncing and they're actually staying warm and they're getting ready to go in. Just think about that when you watch Chloe getting amped up to join this conversation off the bench.
This is, you know, the productivity and the quality of regulation in New Zealand are important topics.
No, I get it.
I just make the point that the ACT Party has a clear strategy. Regulatory standards, Ministry for Regulation, sector reviews, cutting red tape,
I understand that,
but already.
Your coalition partners have a clear strategy to rip up everything that you're talking about.
If you'd let me finish, you know, I just make the point. They're ultimately going to have to come up with an alternative, and so far they haven't, and that's why I think we're going to end up.
What's your message to Winston?
Well,
no, they're not. They don't have to come up with an alternative. They can just repeal it. So when you guys got rid of the ferries, what was the alternative you had? What was it?
Open sea.
Oh, open sea. When you guys got rid of Smoke Free 2025, what was your alternative to bringing down smoking? No, nothing. What is this bullshit? All of a sudden, if they're going to cancel it, they better come up with an alternative. No, they can just cancel it, just like you guys have spent your whole 2 years doing.
An alternative, and so far they haven't, and that's why I think we're going to end up.
What's your message to Winston?
Well, it's very simple. This country needs to raise productivity, it needs to cut red tape. The Regulatory Standards Act is the way that our government is committed to doing that. If people want to present an alternative, they can, but nobody else is talking about how you get red tape and regulation down so we can get wages up. That's what we have to do.
What are you seeing when you look at this squabble?
Yeah, look, the Regulatory Standards Act is basically one of two things. If you're to listen to David's own Ministry of Regulation, it's new yellow tape. It is duplicative, it is a waste of time, and in a nutshell, it is not going to do anything meaningful to actually address the issues that we are facing. If you're to take David's own diagnosis of regulation, people can look at the regulatory impact statement that's on the public record. At the other end of the spectrum, if you're to listen to legal experts, to environmental experts or otherwise, you'll see that it is potentially a sidelining of community, of conservation, of climate considerations, all to provide a fast track for prioritising the interests of corporations and of those who own things. So in a nutshell, it was also overwhelmingly opposed by 90% of New Zealanders.
I need to prioritise some corporations right now and pay some bills by doing some ads.
Didn't notice that. Only the people who made submissions, 90% of only the ones who made submissions, the ones who voted, and you might say the ones who voted, they made submissions, only 90% of them. Because like that means, Chewie, there was only like 150,000. There's still like 5.3 million, and they're all on my side. So, you know, that's only the ones who did submissions.
to prioritise
actually,
some
people
corporations
that
right
made
now
a
and
submission
pay some bills by doing some
not New
ads.
Zealand.
Appreciate you both being on the
Thank you.
show this morning as always. Chloe, thank you for being with us from Wellington. Chloe Swarbrick from the Greens
Thank you.
and David Seymour from ACT.
What an enormous, wet, soppy, floppy cock David Seymour seemed to be in that interview. Just the little in the background as Chloe's just listing facts. He's the first one to go contest me in the marketplace of ideas, but all he's got in the background, he sounded like a fucking Hillman Hunter on a cold day. Just that, I don't know why anyone looks to him for leadership. It's the least inspiring human we've got in that building, and that's saying something.